Hello and welcome back to Talk of the Traitors. I'm Benedict Townsend.
And I'm Hannah Townsend.
How you doing, Hannah Townsend?
Doing very well. We had a very good day today.
We did. Anyone who has been following me for any period of time will know that I am a massive James Bond fan. That is a thing I'm a fan of above anything else. And today, this is unrelated to Traitors, but today we interviewed Pierce Brosnan.
I think I've had this makeup sitting on my face for like 14 hours now. I was like, before we went to film this, I was like, I better like touch it up. And it was like crust on my face because obviously we were up and out. We were interviewing Pierce Brosnan and now we're here chatting about Traitors. But it's been brilliant.
So that was your biggest takeaway from Pierce Brosnan, is that you've been wearing a lot of makeup.
I've just been wearing it for a long amount of time. It was like me meeting Taylor Swift. And when we put it into that sort of perspective, I really understood the gravitas of the situation.
100%. Like, that is my ultimate, probably bucket list celebrity to meet.
Yeah.
And he was so lovely.
He's your favourite Bond.
What a gent as well. Stood up, shook our hands. Nice guy.
He went, talk of the Townsends.
He did, in that exact accent.
It was that bad.
No, it wasn't too bad. And he was like, you're married and you do stuff together. That's amazing. The Townsends. It was so sweet. He didn't know us ahead of time. We introduced ourselves and then he said that. So anyway, we're on Cloud 9 today. And
I thought you were going to say, so anyway, Piers, if you are listening.
And I know you are. But so we're coming into today already in a great mood because that was so great. And then we get to watch our favourite TV show, Traitors.
Okay.
And we have said in previous episodes that the theme of this series, this latest series, seems to be speed, getting on with it. It's almost like they're doing a greatest hits Traitors. And you think, like, every episode, they stuff like 5 special features into it. And this episode was no different.
Well, this episode started off topsy-turvy, of course. So we start with a banishment. Do you think that they did that banishment because it was raining and they wanted to do the task in not torrential rain?
That is a fun, incredibly unglamorous theory about why they did it that way. Everyone's like, they did it to freak them out. It's actually just because it was so rainy in those cages.
I think logistically for filming, that is probably why they did the challenge that way. And then they were like, you can't expect anything. But I'm like, they didn't expect the rain.
I guess also because if people were going to be in cages, you can't do a round table.
Oh, maybe you're right.
Because then some people are missing. Some people are, as the show would have you believe, locked in cages for hours on end.
Freezing cold.
Freezing cold. What I like about Traitors is that it takes place in the real world, but also like in a fantasy world. Not just because of the like murder and all that, but because they will have you believe stuff like they've been sat in those cages all night.
Yeah.
And you kind of have to pretend it's true.
Yeah, the little videos of Sam being like, I'm so cold and we're all so alone.
We're all crying.
To be fair, it was a long time for Stephen to be alone with his thoughts because I feel like he's made a few cock-ups.
Well,
I hate to swear.
Stephen is not the only one to make a bit of a cock-up because it's time to correct the record. There's someone on this podcast, I won't name names, there was someone who said that if Fiona was revealed to be the secret traitor, she, whoever she is, she would get a tattoo.
We have made some huge Traitors mistakes, and I am going to have to roll the clip. Another theory going around is that it's definitely Fiona. It's not Fiona. I can tell you right now, it's not Fiona. I'll get Fiona's name tattooed on my neck if it's Fiona.
Well, prepare the tattoo gun.
The edit got me, and I actually love that it got me. I thought it was too obvious. I thought it was going to be someone that we hadn't really heard of. I mean, I did think it was Harriet, but I love that I was got.
But also I like that they were giving us clues. Like they were dropping, like we were playing too much like 9D chess where we were like, the fact they're giving us clues is a clue. But, you know, to quote Rachel in this episode, sometimes the most obvious thing is the thing.
Yeah. And to quote Rachel, what was it like with Hugo in the turret?
Oh, well, we'll get on to that. But first of all, something to attend to. I have got a tattoo gun here and we will be tattooing you.
One thing that I did get right, though, was I said Stephen putting himself up for murder was a bad idea. Roll that clip. I think putting himself up for murder on the little dots is a dumb idea. They always put a traitor in there. His, like, circle is getting smaller and smaller of tallies up against him.
Yeah.
I think that was a bad move. And we saw everyone's like, a traitor has to be in one of these cages.
He's actually making so many mistakes to still be in the show. He literally at the table said, when I was thinking about that last night, I mean this morning, and there are other series of the Traitors where they would have leapt on that.
Yeah.
Usually a little misspeaking like that, they jump on that. Because that was a genuine slip.
Yes.
Of like, why would you have been thinking about that last night? We've all just found out about this, right? He's actually skating by quite well, but he said himself, right now, they all think I'm faithful, him doing the dramatic goodbyes. But how will they feel when I come down to breakfast? because he's running out of chances at this point.
But if you were a traitor and he wasn't a traitor, you wouldn't murder Stephen because he is getting heat on him.
I suppose. But I think I think his luck is running out a little bit. Jesse's on him.
Jessie is on him. She's doing a very good job there.
That incredibly cinematic scene where she went to the portraits and she was like, it's Stephen, and I will have my revenge. That was amazing.
So to bring it back, what do we think about the Fiona reveal?
I love it. I mean, it's a great choice. I do like the thing of that means that you have traitors that are English, Northern Irish, Scottish, and Welsh.
Yes.
You get a full UK for your money.
She's very devious, isn't she?
She is.
When she came in and stirred that pot, traitors don't usually stir the pot with traitors in the same conversation.
Yeah.
Fiona is playing a dangerous game.
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely already in the crosshairs of Rachel. But then I think it's a vice versa type situation. Rachel actually seemed a bit shook.
Yes, because Fiona is someone who could completely get her out the game.
It was the first time I've seen Rachel seem like worried in a VT when she was like, wow, I really don't know what Fiona's going to do.
The one thing Fiona said that I was like, woof, was when she went into the turret and was like, I've been doing all your jobs for you. I was like, girl, I was like, if anything is going to get people not on side, it's going in and saying something like that. I can't help but like Fiona.
Me too.
But if I was a traitor, I would be worried. And I wonder how much sway Rachel and Stephen could have at turning the group against Fiona. The problem is, I think it's going to look too suspicious. Rachel going for Ross. Rachel and Ross.
Yeah, Ross and Rachel, yeah. I know.
Stephen.
They were on a break.
Stephen obviously has a lot of suspicion around him. I think if two of them just randomly teamed up on Fiona, they might give the whole game away.
That being said, Ross, one of the most stitched up players maybe in Traitors history.
I really liked him, but I do think he was digging his own grave a bit when he just couldn't stop yapping.
He kept bringing himself up. Like, I don't actually think anyone was going to call him out of that table, but it's that thing that actually the most faithful people do where they get absolutely paranoid. But I do feel really sorry for him, and I do a little bit understand why people voted for him, because he kept finding himself in the middle of messes that were not his making.
Yes.
Like the Nettie thing, which is really unfortunate.
Yeah.
And also Ben just randomly being like, Ross killed me.
Yes.
It's like, which was based on nothing, by the way.
A couple of things that went down this episode. So obviously, Claudia managed to remember all of the names of people who were up for maybe being killed, which I was very impressed with. Then we had the kind of sports team picking.
Yeah.
And Sam didn't get picked.
I mean, look, as a human being, I had a little bit of sympathy because it sucks to be in that position. But also, you can't come in that hard in episode 1 and be like, I'm a gregarious, kind of a dickhead. And then be like, oh no, everyone thinks I'm a gregarious dickhead. It's like, well, I'm sorry why did you open with that kind of personality?
Yeah.
Doesn't even really seem to be what he's like, but he came in way too hot.
Yes, he was like, I am very cutthroat, right? And so everyone's like, well, he comes across a bit cutthroat.
Yeah, and it's like the thing when they like wheeled his cage up and it was like, you can watch the activity. It's like, okay, that looked miserable in the rain, having to sit in those cages.
So miserable.
Because some of them, like Jade, she didn't even have a hood.
No.
She was just kind of cowering in the rain.
What do you think about Fiona making no effort to try and help Reese in that challenge?
What was that about? It almost felt like she was trying to sabotage him, but to what end?
And he was so nice about it. He was like, it's okay. She's trying her best. She wasn't trying 1%.
I want to give Reese the high energy award this week for the bit where he went, has anyone seen Fiona?
It just kept being clips of him looking around being like, Fiona, is
So I
anyone?
literally haven't seen her all game.
He gave away his skulls. That's how bad. I didn't understand the game plan. She's just trying to appear weaker and like not as strong as she is, right?
I guess, but like...
But how is it just so people are like, well, Fiona, she's not very good at anything, but like, is that the idea?
I guess in a way, to make people dismiss her even more.
Yes.
But like, if you were like, wow, Fiona's quite agile, you wouldn't be like, agile like a traitor, would you?
That's the thing when people are like, I'm a great faithful, I want to win money, like I try my best in every challenge. It's like, well, everyone wants to win money.
Yeah.
If you're a traitor or a faithful, you're all going home with the same pot. So we all want the £2,000 for, stacking up the 10 skulls. So that's another one of the, traitors bingo card where when they say it, I'm like, well, everyone wants money, though.
Yeah. The famous problem with the show is that the activity doesn't make any sense because it raises money for everyone.
Yes.
So why would you ever be treacherous?
Yes, because
Treacherous, by the way, is the word, not traitorous. For the 8th time.
This is the argument, right? That the traitors should be trying to do something in challenges to like steal money for a separate pot.
Yeah.
One, as a way that people could then try and work out who the traitor is, and two, because, yeah, ultimately everyone's going to try hard at a trial.
Yeah, and it doesn't, if you do badly or do well, it's irrelevant, completely irrelevant, although they always think it's very relevant.
It's so funny that the part of the show that they addressed and tried to change was adding a secret traitor, something that, like, no one was like, this game needs a secret traitor, and not the part that, like, they don't have enough clues to go by.
Yeah, which you could fix by also fixing the other problem, which is like no one really cares about the challenges.
Yeah. That said, I will say, in terms of clues to go by, the little dots on the family tree was stressful, tough, and did kind of give them clues. I mean, why is Reese not piping up?
Why is Reese not piping up? How the hell do you not remember the moment where two people said to you, can you leave us alone with the family tree? Like, how bad is your memory? It's also mad that none of them used the family tree at the round table. Only Stephen, in a slightly suspicious way, was actually mentioning the family tree. Everyone else just moved on and was like, I'm pretty sure it's Ross.
Yeah. Stephen was trying to pin it on Maz, right? He was like, you were by the family tree.
Yeah. No one even really cared that he was pinning it on him. Everyone was like, we don't care about that tree anymore.
Was Hugo this dramatic in the turret?
Oh, I mean, I physically cringed.
Yes or no? Do you think Ross understood the joke?
No.
No.
I don't think he understood. I think he genuinely, because I think it's a mad thing to say. It's such a lame thing to say. I like Rachel, but I'm like, that sucked.
It is so funny, the difference between Celebrity Traitors and this season of Traitors. Obviously, we had the joke with Jonathan Ross and Alan Carr where they were like, enjoy the turrets. And he was like, I'll see you up there.
Yeah.
And tonight, we had Rachel make one of the worst jokes we've ever heard. Was Hugo this dramatic in the turret?
And then he was like,
silent.
And he was like, what? Huh? But also, like, it's a bad joke, but it also felt kind of mean.
It did.
It felt mean.
It did feel mean. It didn't land. He didn't understand.
There was a bit of bite behind it, and she was treating it as like a foregone conclusion. I'm like, oh, of course you're a traitor. I don't know. It rubbed me the wrong way. I really didn't like it. Also, it is devious because, like, what is the correct answer to that question? Do you just go, well, you would know? Like, what do you say?
Smart. How would you have responded?
If I'd had, 3 hours to think of an answer like I have now, I'd go, well, you would know. But in reality, I think I'd be a bit like Ross. I'd go, sorry, what did you just say?
I think I would play dumb, even though I would have understood what she meant. I'd be like, what do you mean? What do you mean? She was like, we all know there's a turret.
Yeah, and then he's like, oh, sorry, I didn't know. I'm like, yeah, I fully believe him.
And she was like, we all know. We all know there's a turret.
Because also, up until that point, they were all having a normal conversation, and then she just threw out this bizarre little, like, gargoyles riddle.
She was sitting on that line thinking, what can I say?
It's a risky move from Rachel, because she hadn't really said anything, and then she just came out with that, and it's like, if I was there, I'd be a bit like, what's going on with Rachel?
If I was Fiona, I'd be like, what an odd thing for Rachel to say
Not move
out
from
of
Rachel.
nowhere.
I don't know about that one for Rachel.
Rachel and Ross.
When will Ross and Rachel, when will they get together? So will they, won't they?
They missed the opportunity of a lifetime when Ross left. And Ellie in her little video was talking about Ross.
Yes.
And she didn't say, but Ross is.
Like, that is crazy. Like, what is the likelihood that you would have another person named Ross where you could do a reveal and you didn't do... Some of these people in here, they're so close with me. James, he thinks he's so close. He thinks he's my boyfriend. He's not my boyfriend. But Ross is. Something like that.
Yeah.
There's got to be a way.
Look, that is a key moment in Traitors history. And it should have been recreated for this one very specific moment where so many things had to come into play. The fact it wasn't done hurts me to my soul.
A crime.
We weren't that surprised about Ellie and Ross ending up as boyfriend and girlfriend, were we?
Well, it was kind of ruined by gumshoes outside the show. I think I'm now going to try and ignore anything that doesn't come from the show. I think I'm going to start ignoring.
Yes.
Because having that be revealed by the show and then me not being surprised by it wasn't that fun.
Do you think there's lots more family connections in there? Because they've had 2 reveals kind of quick.
I think with the fact we've had these already and with the family tree thing, I think they are going for the thing where a lot of them are linked. Possibly all of them are linked.
But do you not think we'd find out if, like, a father and son were in there right now? Like, people would have photos of them together that would be leaked online.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm trying to ignore this stuff, Han.
Oh.
But you never know. It could be, that's my ice cream man. This is my step uncle.
Yeah.
This man paid my ransom. These are the ways people can know each other.
Yes.
We've lost something really important and devastating in this series of Traitors. The peacock noise. Have you noticed? They're not doing it anymore. I think they got so mocked for playing it every 15 seconds. They actually haven't had a single peacock hit.
I haven't heard.
I know. You haven't. No one has. But they are still doing the, like... every time it cuts to a traitor.
In our wedding video, did that guy put in all those peacock noises?
I think he did. There's like peacock.mp3 is like the one peacock sound effect that everyone always uses. I just want to drill down on, we've lost a nice seeming guy this week in Ross. And I just want to emphasize again, it made absolutely no sense to think he was a traitor. Why would he kill someone who said that I suspect Ross? Why would he do that? And everyone was like, Harriet, who seems quite smart, she was like, sometimes the most obvious thing is the thing. It's like, it's not obvious. It doesn't make any sense.
It's very far-fetched. And at this stage, was there not stronger... I think looking at the 5 people who were left in that room was probably smarter than just looking at one Ross.
The Library 5, as someone called them at one point. I think Stephen said, I was one of the Library 5. I was like, that's catching on. Love that.
I like that.
Hashtag Library 5.
Do you know what I enjoy whenever the Library 5 is brought up? They're all like, who was in the library? And no one wants to not show willing. So everyone's like...
Me. A lot of them go, me.
I was actually in that Library 5.
I shan't hide.
I
have nothing to hide.
No one wants to hide, and so the Library 5 shoot their little hands up.
Stephen does well. Me, I was there.
Yeah, no, I was there. I was there, yeah. I was there.
Yeah, I was there, just like I'm at the scene of everything suspicious that happens in this game. I wouldn't question it if I were you. Before we go, I'd just like to ask people if you could give us a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or whatever platform you're using. I just realised we haven't asked for that in years, and it does actually really help the podcast. So if you enjoy the show, please rate us 5 stars. Maybe leave a nice review. Maybe just the word nice.
2 things. 1, we should have asked for that at the top of the episode. And 2, obviously we can't tell people to leave a 5-star review.
Hannah, have never listened to a podcast before?
Do they all say 5 stars?
Why would you ask for anything less?
No,
Give me a 2-star review. No.
I think you say, if it's a 5-star show, leave a 5-star. Anything else, keep it to yourself.
All right.
Do people say, give me 5 stars?
Yes.
It's like an Uber.
People say that. They go, it would mean a lot if you could leave us a 5-star review.
You can't demand that it be 5 stars.
Look, it's an all or nothing system. We all know this. Everyone either wants 5 stars or no review. But if you could leave us a review, we'd really appreciate it.
It is my birthday.
It's my birthday, and it's also Piers Brosnan's birthday.
And it's Christmas Day.
Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow, as always, with our continuing coverage of the Traitors. I'm Benedict Townsend.
I'm Hannah Townsend.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.